It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Welcome into Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Neither one of those guys will be with us. They will be with us next week. But Anson Wells, my man, he's been here all week and he will be here all week. Anson, good to see you. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Feeling great. Got some good news coming down the pipe today.
No. We got a lot of great news coming down the pipe. This is a big day. It's going to be fun, especially on days like this, man. You know, like once football season is over, you know, you get into this tweener space where it's like, nothing to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, even with a rain delay by the Tigers, there's a lot to talk about. But first, we say hello to Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit.
Hey, what up, though, people, man? Hey, I'm glad to be on the show 2 days in a row. Like I said, this has been like home to me, man.
It's great, man.
Yes,
You're
sir.
always welcome on Ermanni and Edwards, man. So just like
Thank you,
I hope that I'm always welcome on the Wake Up Woodward Show, ladies and gentlemen, which comes on 8 to 10 a.m. Yo, my man Matt, Roder, Flano, Sam, and Brandon Kool-Aid Dent. They're getting it popping early in the morning. They're getting you with the Detroit professional teams. Hey, all four of them. They give you all the information and the major schools. But I'm talking too much without introducing the man to my right hand. If that was cut off, it wouldn't exist. How you doing over there, Peace Buyback?
I am all right, my friend Braylon Edwards. How's your day going? We are busy, aren't we? We're stacked. We're loaded. We are ready to go.
We're stacked. It's a lot going on.
Pause.
Football is king, so you guys know what direction we're leaning on. Also, something very important happened to the Detroit Pistons, which you haven't said a lot recently, but something very important happened to one of the former players, an alumni member who we all know well. We'll talk about that in a second. But before you even get into the Lions, are you guys Mega Millions, Powerball players, etc.? Like, I'll start with you, Anson. When it gets to is there a certain number where you say, I got to buy a ticket, or are you a partaker in the Michigan Lottery?
Honestly, it normally comes down to somebody like yourself. Did you hear about the lottery? Did you hear about the Powerball?
Okay.
It's at $2 billion or whatever it is. And I'll go and I'll either buy 4 tickets for $1 a piece, or maybe 20. But you can't win if you don't play, right?
Hey, ticket gets you in.
That's right.
All you need to take to the dance. Brandon, you got 4 kids and a wife. What would it do if you hit the 1.01 billion number that the Michigan Lottery as well as the Powerball is up to right now? What would that do for you, and are you playing?
Hey, you know what, man? We would probably travel everywhere wifey wants to go. It would be appropriate, too. It's 13th year anniversary today, man. So shout out to my baby as well.
Happy anniversary.
Happy
anniversary.
Man. Happy anniversary to the Dents. 13 years. That's amazing.
Thank
Lucky
you,
number 13.
Yeah, hey, the chat this morning said it's the Pavel Datsyuk year.
It's the what?
Number 13. Pavel Datsyuk year.
Oh, Pavel Datsyuk. There you go.
Yeah,
One of the
13.
best Red Wings of all time. Peace Spivak.
So,
are you playing the Michigan Lottery, or are you playing, excuse me, because this is national, are you playing the Powerball tonight?
No, I'm not playing the Powerball. I'll stick to the online gambling, dude.
But 1 point, come on, it's a lottery ticket.
You know the odds of winning 1 point something
Hey,
billion?
hey, you know what somebody told me, very wise one said? All it takes is 1 ticket.
That's right.
All right. Well,
All it
maybe
takes is one
one
ticket.
ticket, and if I win, I'll throw a party for all of us and our fans.
I'm down.
Pete, it's 1.01 billion. That's what the Powerball is. What would you do if you won $1 billion?
Honestly, I mean, this is no joke. I go to Children's Hospital and do whatever I
believe
could for
that. I
those
don't think
kids.
it's a joke.
I am not kidding. That's like the first thing that would pop in my mind. I would quit working and I would do you can go to Children's Hospital and read to the kids. And I would honestly that's something that's near and dear to my heart. I would do that.
I would send it in the mail and I would have a party with some. No, I'm just joking. No, 100%. Anson, $1 billion.
I'd go and affect the world. I'd probably be finding a lot of dogs on the street and setting up rescues for dogs. But I'd like to go to impoverished nations and help them build, man.
Now,
$1 billion. $1 billion. Obviously, you'll probably receive out of
600, 700 maybe at
probably get
best.
618.
Yeah.
618. I'm 400 instantly in the bank.
Yeah.
400
You
instantly.
trust the bank?
I trust J.P. Morgan.
Okay.
I trust J.P. Morgan. And, hey, wherever the Rothschild money is at.
Yeah.
And wherever J.P. Morgan.
No crypto?
And the Rothschild. Actually, I would put about $100 million in crypto.
Yeah, there you go.
Crypto is the way of the future.
Yes, sir.
People that don't want to accept it are people that are relics. And look, I used to be a relic. But my mom, of all people,
Oh, really?
she got me understanding crypto is the way with the future.
Yes,
so
it
what
is.
you
The
have,
people's money.
you 100%. That's the way to go. So I would put $100 million in crypto, and then the rest I call my mom. Hey, mom, what we doing with the rest?
Yeah, that's right.
What we doing with the rest? All right, cool. I had to get that out the way.
I got a question for you.
It's $1 billion. It was worth talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
When you got your big contract, your first one, what
Right.
did you do for your people? What did you do for your mom and dad?
Bought my mom and dad a house.
Did you?
Bought them a house.
That's
I mean, I
fantastic.
think, and I don't want to make this a race thing because it's not. But every black man, when you grow up, you want to get moms a house. That's kind of that's our community. Brandon, that's fair to say.
That's fair to say.
Yeah,
man.
like
I'm
when
still working towards that, but that's fair to say.
But 100%. So you want to get mom the house, and by extension, pops the house, because we were all mama's boys that put in that work that
Fantastic.
allowed us to be where we are. So yeah, it took care of moms, and then
Here in Michigan?
took care of me.
Here in
100%.
Michigan? Attaboy.
100%.
Yeah,
There we
mom's
go.
a house and pops a car.
Hey, that's how it
Yeah.
goes, because the car goes in the garage.
Hey.
But also, I'm gonna tell you, once that happens, Kool-Aid, you also gonna get mom the car too. You also gonna get mom the car too. But ladies and gentlemen, NFL news, man, it's hot.
Yes,
For
it
the
is.
Detroit Lions signing 2 people to the roster today. Now they're no strangers to the Detroit Lions. One being Brock Wright. Brock Wright signs back for
right.
the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions have matched the 3-year, $12 million offer sheet from the RFA Brock Wright. Now that means restricted free agent. San Francisco threw an offer on the table. Lions had a chance to match. And I'll start with you, Anson. This is a no-brainer. If you have the money, which Brad Holmes has done an amazing job of saving that money, picking the right players, you got to match a guy, because it's not just in the passing game. The Lions' strength is the offensive line, and he plays a vital role in the run blocking and run passing.
There's probably a lot of Lions fans right now scratching their heads because you don't see him make the plays that you see Sam Laporta or even Hawkinson before him. Yeah. But what that contract is telling you right now is how important this man is to this team in more facets than just catching the ball. He's an extension of the offensive line, like you said. Yeah. But it seems like he's a glue piece for this team as well. So when you have a guy ready to go to the team that beat you in the NFC Championship and you can hold on to him, it's a win.
I'll tell you before I come to you, Kool-Aid. His coach, Steve Hyden. Steve Hyden is the current tight ends coach for the Detroit Lions. He was a teammate of mine when I was with the Cleveland Browns. Steve Hyden didn't start once Kellen Winslow got there. Shout out to my former teammate, Kellen Winslow Jr. Hope you're okay. Kellen Winslow became a starter. Steve Hyden did the things that you didn't necessarily always see. He had 2-3 catches. They were all first downs. He's blocking. Steve Hyden's a man-child out there. At least he was in his football playing days. He's a man-child out there. He blocked, gave Derek Anderson, Charlie Fry, you name one of the 12 quarterbacks I played with, gave them ample time to block. So this is stemming from, in my opinion, their tight ends coach, who is Steve Hyden, was that type of player. Brandon, you yourself, what do you think about this Bright White move? Do you think it was okay for them to let him go and maybe use that money in a different space, the maybe wide receiver space, maybe the cornerback space, or is this a move that it rings bells as a Brad Holmes move?
Hey, you know what? It definitely rings bells as a Brad Holmes move. I was interested to see what they were going to do if they did let him go, if there were some options in this draft, and Matt Broder kind of covered that on the morning show. But with how vital he is to the run blocking, and even beyond that, his ability to kind of block downfield as well for some of the stunts they run when like J-Mo or Amon-Ra St. Brown get sweeps and things like that. This becomes something very, very vital. You've said it, Anson. I've said it. We've all said it. The most elite aspect of this team is this offensive line and the protection that they give to Jared Goff, as well as the blocking. This is something that I think keeps them at that stage right now. They don't have to kind of take a chance on somebody in the draft. You know, Sam Laportas don't just grow on trees. So who knows if you're getting another tight end that's going to step in right away and be the best tight end in the league. So Brock Wright, man. It's definitely a Brad Holmes type of guy, Brad Holmes type of move.
Yeah, and also, too, it just makes Brad Holmes an honest truth teller when he makes comments. Remember what he said in the locker room at the end of the year? He said, I love every one of the single guys in here. I love each and every single guy in this locker room. Some guys have left because of things that were out of his control, but he had the control to bring Brock Wright back. They had the control to say, no, we're good, but they chose to bring Brock Wright back because of what he's done that has not necessarily been seen, and the things he's done that's seen. I mean, the New York Jets game, he catches the pass, he scores a touchdown. Because of that, they were allowed to win that game. He wasn't the only player that the Detroit Lions brought back, although we believe he was the best acquisition. They did bring back a DB to fill up that DB room, and his name is Kindle Vildor. The Detroit Lions are re-signing cornerback Kindle Vildor to a 1-year deal. Now, look, we understand he's not a starter. We understand that he's not a guy out there starting. They got 2 guys for that, and they maybe have a third in the draft. But are you cool with this as a depth pick, or are you like, okay, these are the moves that make me scratch my head about Brad Holmes?
I think there's, a lot of Lions fans scratching their head over this one because the thing that's in their memory is the missed interception at the end of the NFC Championship. Big miss there. I always got to say this. He sounds like he's from House Slytherin, but Vildor is a depth piece. He knows the system. I am against change.
Yeah.
And you bring in a guy that's really just going to be a depth piece, which obviously after the deal with Cam Sutton becomes a priority for this team. So when you bring a guy back that does know that system, it's not a big win, but it's completing pieces that are going to bring you back to that big stage we made last year.
Cooley, I'm going to swing this question to you as well.
Yeah.
You look at Kindle Vildor, like he knows the system. He knows what Aaron Glenn wants to teach. Hey, he had a horrible, I don't want to say horrible too much, but he had a situation that just was out of his control. It's his face mask. He's in good position. Bad play. Looks like the Lions have forgave him, but also they're bringing a guy back that they trust because the Lions don't typically trust everyone.
And you know what? Furthermore than just what the Lions do or don't trust, this has been a week where a couple of former Detroit Lions, because of fan criticism, couldn't take the heat. And when they went to other teams or let their passion be heard on social, CJ GJ, one of those guys, Josh Reynolds, another one of those guys. You guys don't think that Kindle Vildor has also heard what everybody's been saying about him, but he decided, you know what? I want to be able to step up. I want to be able to make a difference, maybe rewrite his destiny a little bit better and his story a little bit better with the Detroit Lions. This is something to me that actually is a lot more interesting when you kind of juxtapose it with Josh Reynolds and CJ GJ. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do because I don't think that he was bad, but he had some bad situations or plays this year that I think stick out in a lot of people's minds. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do.
Understood. And I think with Brad Holmes, look, the way in which he's gone about this team and the success that they've had, you got to trust it whether you want to or not. At least as of right now, he hasn't given you reason to trust anything else. I'm glad you brought up CJ GJ. Because CJ GJ Anson, which is your neck of the woods, the trash talk side, which you just talked about someone who we'll talk about later, and the congrats that he deserves. But it looks like CJ GJ is pulling a move out of what he did with the Eagles. He left the Eagles, he came here and got chippy with the fan base. This is from CJ Gardner-Johnson, Anson. I'll let you take it after this. Lions fans quick to turn. But I'm going to hush up. Pause, by the way.
Well, not only did he hush up, but he took that down. He erased that tweet. This is a guy that bashed the entire locker room in Philly and the whole fan base when he left there as well. I mean, he's going to have to make some big plays to be well received again. But hey, we're at the point here in Detroit where we have high expectations. And if you don't meet them and you can't take the heat, then get the hell out the kitchen. I love your take, Kool-Aid, on Vildor, because I didn't really think about it like that. He was pushed into a spot, and he had to play a lot more downs than I think that they have ever expected him to last season, and in big games in the playoffs. This guy will be able to, kind of hide it behind some other players this year. It's not going to be asked. Hopefully the injuries won't ask him to, but he won't be asked to do the things that he was last year. But the fact that he's willing to come back, that he doesn't hear the chirping on Twitter or from the fans, he knows the fans want to win. He knows the fans want him to make that catch. He wanted to make that catch. So hats off to him. I hope he has a great season here.
Look, I'm going back to the trash talk. B. Dent, you're on the microphone right now. CJ GJ, he left. It seemed like he wanted to go somewhere, but also it seemed like he remembered what the city of Detroit was. And I'm going to give you like this. You tell me what you're thinking right now.
Hey, look, man, I think that there was a much better way for him to say what I think he was trying to get across. I can definitely think that there was some frustrations there. He probably wanted to have a few more cheers than he actually got. I thought that CJ GJ
should have played a few more games than he actually did.
Should have played a few more games. I thought in terms of the Lions kind of making him out to be this locker room hero guy, even though he didn't play most of the year. Good on the Lions. It seems like they're doing things completely different. But for CJ GJ to effectively go out there and kind of turn all of that over on his head with one or two tweets. And this ain't the first time. Since he's left, there's been little tiny chirps on social media that just makes me go, bro, where was this at before? If this is what you thought Detroit fans were first or before, why not say something then? It just doesn't ring very street. of somebody, even though that's what he's trying to say. Hey, look, man, me and J-Mo were the only ones kind of accepted in the streets in Detroit and things of that nature. You can't hate on Detroit and the fans in one respect, but then try and act like you got some type of clout in the city as well.
That's right.
It just didn't sit right with me, man.
No, it doesn't work like that. Look, there are 3 levels of, I guess, when you're dealing with a franchise. You deal with players, your teammates. You deal with the front office, the coaches. All that gets wrapped into one. And then you deal with the fan base. Like, if something happens with you and your teammates and you put something out there, you talk kind of like discreetly, but people know. And if it's true, then people will let it go, or people understand, and you say, you know what, we get it. I mean, that's what happened here. It wasn't the best. If something happens with you in the front office, same. If something happens with you and the fans, same. But when you decide which of the 3 it's going to be, which of the branches of government of the franchise it's going to be, you chose the fans. The fans, including myself, who has become a Lions fan over the past 3 years, we supported CJ GJ. We wanted him here. We talked about how happy he was. We talked about what he meant to the team the first game of the year. We talked about when he was hurt. Couldn't wait till he got back. We talked about what he did online in terms of, I'll be back. Don't worry, don't count me out. We're not. We counted you in since the beginning. Then you came back.
We put on the ski mask for him.
Exactly. Wore the ski mask for you. You got popped, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. Then all of a sudden, you come back. You're not the same player, whether it was injury, a little bit hadn't played, a little rust, whatever it was, you didn't play well, and we still defended you.
That's right.
And now all of a sudden, they don't bring you back because you didn't show up.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, bro, the chat, that's what I'm about to read. They're agreeing with you. Silent Service, CJ GJ has been trashing us. Why? Lions Kool-Aid, CJ GJ, nothing but mouth. I forget who else said. He said, man, I feel so bad now because I was defending him. CJ GJ just likes hearing himself talk. That's why he listens to his own music. That's Wilson 1. Alan W, who it is. I feel dumb for defending CJ GJ now. And you know what? That's a lot of the same rhetoric that we were getting on our show as well.
Yo, and it's rightfully so. Anson, I'll come to you next because I know you love to tear people apart, and rightfully so in this situation. I even got to the point where I'm agreeing with the chat where I was defending CJ.
And you feel silly about it.
GJ, he's injured. Yeah, all right, cool. He's injured. It's no big deal. They happen. It's part of the game. We'll get back when he gets back. He gets back, starts getting cooked, starts getting sauced up. Oh, well, you know what? It's a little bit of rust. It's going to take a game or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or NFC championship. I feel led astray, if you will.
Right. Well, listen, Detroit fans, I'm going to call it right now. You guys are going to get your chance
hoodwinked
in the NFC playoffs to tell them how you feel here at Ford Field when we host the Eagles and beat their ass. It's going to happen.
All right.
You watch.
Well, you heard it here from my man Anson Wells. Detroit Lions versus the Philadelphia Eagles in the second round, because the Lions will have a bye.
That's right.
My man P Spyback, tell us where we're going on the first commercial break, and we'll get back to you guys.
If we're going to go to break, we're going to do the good old Wake Up Woodward break right here. And you can hear that new morning show right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, 8 to 10 a.m. Join Flannel Sam, Broder, KG, JB, and, of course, who's that?
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, that's right. You can join Kool-Aid as well. Again, the new morning show, Wake Up Woodward, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Detroit's #1 sports station, Woodward Sports. We'll be right back.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts, Woodward Sports.
To any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
All right, check this out. Shake Shack Chicken Shack is the best sandwich in the game right now. You know how I know? Because they brought it up here and they fed it to myself, Ryan Ermanni, and Tom Mazaway 3 weeks ago. They also have the QB Challenge. Now, look at the QR code right there in the right-hand corner. If you're watching the tube right now or whatever screen you're looking at, scan it, because all you got to do is you scan it and you win tickets to see the team in the North. That's the Detroit Lions, 12-5 last year. Home opener. We don't know who they're going to play against right now, but it doesn't matter. You want to go to Shake Shack. You want to get yourself the chicken sandwich, and you want to be a part of this contest. Or if you don't want the sandwich, I don't know why you wouldn't buy it, but go to woodwardsports.com. You click the link, you get in, and you get a chance to win 2 tickets for the Detroit Lions home opener. You might want to do yourself a favor and get a part of that challenge. But getting back to it, the other things going on with the Detroit Lions, I think we can get into them. We can talk more about the Brock Wright contract. We can get into the Detroit Lions actually showing you the mode for what is going to be the stage down in Campus Marshes on, I want to say April 25th through the 28th. Well, I guess we're doing it now. Construction begins on the main stage, and they began, I want to say, the start of this week. You're seeing the formulation. Are you excited, Brandon? Then someone that knows the area very well because of the Pistons and the Wings games you attend. Do you like where they're at, where they're situated?
Oh, yeah, I do. It's awesome to see this kind of happening in the city. The last time the NFL did something kind of on this magnitude was the Super Bowl. Shout out to the bus, Jerome Bettis. I think we were all Steelers fans back then. And it's cool to see.
Wheels on the bus.
Yeah, it's cool to see all eyes on Detroit. Them getting started on this is starting to be a little bit more exciting than it was when it was just a kind of a thing that we were promoting. Like, yeah, the draft is on the way, But being downtown, seeing streets start to get blocked off, seeing the construction of the stage, just like, let's go.
Let's get back to the CJ GJ a little bit, because I see the people are still going off in the chats, and I love it. You're honest, and that's what you should be. Do me a favor, Pete, if you could throw that chat up there. It's not the chat. Throw the tweet up there one more time.
Oh, you got it, my friend. Here you go.
Let's do that one more time so people can see it. This is now gone. It's erased. It's deleted. But Lions fans, quick to turn. But I'm going to hush up. As someone that does not quickly support players that aren't homegrown, is that fair to say, Anson? Well, it takes you a second to make sure they're invested.
Sure. Absolutely.
Is this a situation where you're like, see, this is why I don't do it, and now it got you like on your heels where you really have to see someone that's not from here or homegrown prove themselves to the Lions fan base? Well,
I got to be honest, looking at that tweet, because I was all in on CD Deuce when he came here. Yeah. I have my blue baklava. My thing with him is that tweet is really soft when it comes to CD Deuce tweets. I think he understands this city, and I think he knew better, and that was as much as he let out. So I'm not really that mad at him. But when it comes down to supporting players at home, man, I feel silly having defended him. Like, I feel silly having insisted that Stafford would be in the Hall of Fame, defending him. Because I'll tell you, the moment you turn on this city, the city that I love, that we all love, no thanks.
Did you guys see what it said on Instagram as well, though?
Give us that, Brandon.
He said, tired of these Detroit fans. And he continued to say, let's set the record straight. Only me and Biggs G JMO, which is Jameson Williams' handle, had the streets of Detroit behind us. All the other guys on the team were scared to go out to kick it with the city. I did see a couple other Detroit Lions going to games and supporting in some of these schools, so it's a little bit inaccurate. But yeah, I had to throw the other aspect in there because it wasn't just the Twitter one that was getting people so riled up. I think if it was just that one, people wouldn't be as like, yo, I defended him. But it's this other component to it. He's like, I'm tired of these Detroit fans. It's just like, what are you doing, man?
He's a bit of a delusional human being, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, everybody's got to be taking his words with a grain of salt, right?
Yeah. At this day, look, man, I've been in cities, I've partied, I've hung out, I've done that. So, like I said, I always come from a place of not judgment, just more so like what I see. In this situation, you said you and J-Mo were the only one that endeared yourself to the community and the city, and you hung out and this, that, and the third. But maybe you and J-Mo should have done a little bit more work at the facility. Maybe you and J-Mo should have been watching a little bit more film because J-Mo was not doing his thing early on when he first got here. Now he's gotten to a place. He's gotten to a place where we believe that he can be that number one, well, number two, at least right now, because we know who number one is. He's number 14. But two guys hanging out. You got one guy that's injured. You got one guy that comes back and he starts getting cooked, and we're out here lobbying for him. He's lobbying for the club, and we're lobbying for him to stay around. So I think maybe you got to be quiet and be careful what you say.
Yeah, shout out to Dante. Bro, you preaching right now, bro. I'm trying to read the super chat.
There. And God.
Shout out to Dante.
God. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Dante151 for the super chat. He says, as The Rock once said, shut your mouth and know your role. CJ GJ needs to work on his position again just to be accepted in Philadelphia.
If you smell.
Like you said. Let's go.
Put The Rock. Yo, that's dope, too. And shout out to him because you know The Rock is back. And I keep mentioning it because WrestleMania is this weekend. Match on Saturday will be The Rock and Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins.
You never gave up wrestling at all, did you?
Maybe not.
Bro, you got the chat. You got the chat going right now.
Maybe not. I'm just saying. Like, like quick pivot. Let's make a quick pivot. Like The Rock coming back, and I don't know if you follow B-Den. I don't know if you.
He's coming back.
No, he came back.
He's back.
Oh wow!
And this time around, it's the best comeback that I've ever seen, including Hollywood Hogan coming back and creating NWO with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. It's because you could do a lot more then. You could curse and beers and the women and the stuff was crazy. Like what The Rock is allowed to do now, he's like, I legitimately was telling my mom and dad about The Rock being back and this new character, the Final Boss. And you can see the Final Boss on Peacock on Saturday. WrestleMania starts at 7 p.m. No, but my parents were even interested. Like I told them, I said, hey, The Rock is global.
Yeah.
The Rock is top 5 most famous person in the world right now. And he's not 4 or 5.
No.
So when he comes back and he's dedicated, he's very interested.
Yeah.
These vignettes that he's doing, these promos that he's cutting, these in-ring interviews that he's doing, not only are the fans back, they're bringing new fans. Like my mom and dad were sitting down watching the interviews last Friday when I went over there. They was like, he's back? I said, yeah, this is him. He said, oh, he's still good. So shout out to The Rock because I'll be out of town Saturday, but don't you even want to say when I get back Monday night, I'm watching Saturday and Sunday. The Final Boss, baby.
Now, Bray, I can't wait for that. But you got the chat lit up with your CJ GJ speech, man.
It's real. But so look, the reason why I know it's to be real is because I played in the NFL. You can tell the guys that are going on. I went on a lot. I was able to balance. Sometimes you're not. And that's how I know from experience. When you go out a lot, you're hanging out, your place is too long, too late.
I saw you out once or thrice.
In the off season though. I would say you in the summer. Like football season is, it's in the fall and winter. But when you guys are hanging out like that, when you're enjoying
during
yourself,
the season,
you're spending a lot of time out, which is a lot of time away from the game, which is paying you, the game that is, got you to this point. So when you mention those two guys and you look at what those two guys have been, it's, I don't want to say it's true, but birds of a feather flock together, and that's what you got. It's the truth.
100%.
And the Lions saw it and they moved on. The Eagles saw it and moved on, if we want to be honest.
Yep.
The Eagles didn't bring him back after the All-Pro season. Mm-hmm. What did that Super Bowl look like? Mm-hmm. What did that Super Bowl look like 2 years ago?
Yeah, and they brought him back kind of in a place of what I would say secondary.
It's not the same role, and he's not getting paid.
Not the same role.
Like they're kind of desperate right now, man.
Yeah.
Their secondary and their defense, especially when they put Matt Patricia in that coordinator spot, it didn't look good at all, to the point that their fans, well before he was even a free agent, was saying, we need to go and get CJ GJ back. I
don't even know they brought him back for his ability. I think it's a drowning franchise right now. And I know that sounds crazy to say, considering what they did last year. They finished 10-7, and then the year before that they made the Super Bowl. But we saw what they were without their defensive coordinator, without their offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen, that went on to better pastures. They struggled down the stretch. They couldn't run the ball, which was their staple. They got rid of Miles Sanders. So they're looking to find some sense
identity
of who they were in 2022. And they believe CJ GJ was on that team. So I feel like maybe they feel like that could help them.
Well, 10-7, but let's be real. This team was
they lost like
tailspin.
8 of the last 9.
Yeah, they were terrible in the second half. They didn't do anything in the playoffs.
Not that much, but you get it.
You lose a guy like Jason Kelsey. You lose some other pieces. They're lacking in identity. But I'll tell you, CD, if you think the Lions fans are bad, you better play your ass off this coming season, because if you don't, the Philly fans are going to let you know all about it, and you'll be in a new city in 2025.
Hey, B-Dan, looks like we got the callers lit up. Looks like we got the chat lit up. Like people may want to call in and give some opinions. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Let's see if we can get the lines opened up, and if we can, then we'll hear from the viewers. We'll hear what you guys got to say about the situation and have some fun with you guys. But there's still more to talk about, because this all good. I do this too. There's still more to talk about because the Lions are eyeing a particular wide receiver that could be really good for them, and some other things too. But first, let's tell you about Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Only $10 a month is what it takes. That's it. $10 a month to get in shape, to be summertime fine, spring then summer. You want to look good. Also, it's home of the squeaky clean gym. That means they take care, they clean it. It means you don't have to worry about any disease, bacteria. Just come in there, work out, get it in. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? The answer is nothing. Let me tell you about Soroki's crispy pizza and chicken. It's the best. Simply put, they're popping up all over Metro Detroit. Canton, Farmington Hills, Royal Oak, South Lyon, Taylor, Warren, just to name a few. Check out their full menu and find the closest Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com. That is SAROKIS.com. Soroki's and Woodward Sports. That's crispy. It's always fun, like rushing back to do reads and then like out of breath. And I'm like, Soroki's, and you're trying to get the breath out. But anyway, welcome back to the show. Ermanni and Edwards. Ryan Ermanni Maz with us, not with us today, but we are joined by my man Anson Wells and also Brandon Kool-Aid Denton. You know, Peace by back as always in the TD booth. We were talking about the Detroit Lions a little bit. We were talking about a former player. We're talking about CJ GJ or CD Deuce. Are we done with that, or we won't let people get it off their chest?
I don't think our followers are done with it.
They want to keep going.
Let's stay on it a little bit.
Yeah, throw the phone number out there,
You guys already know the phone lines are open. 313-552-6322. Once again, 313-552-6322.
Let's get that out there. Let people call in, man. We're interested in what you guys want to talk about as it relates to.
Yeah, I'm surprised Bigums ain't on the phone already.
Hey, already. Let's give a second to let some people call in. Let the line get a little busy, a little popping.
The numbers in the chat too, boys.
But first, before that, the Lions. You brought up something. We're talking about Kindle Vildor. They bought back Kindle Vildor. Kindle Vildor, you said, which was very true. It was a great analysis by Kool-Aid over there. Got put in a situation, wasn't necessarily a situation he was ready for, a situation he would typically be in. So, he got exposed in a moment where he played good defense and blah, blah, blah. The rest is history. With them picking up a DB, though, what is this? And then Brock Wright. They're bringing another tight end. They're bringing Brock Wright back, who's a blocking tight end.
That's right.
Who's a blocking tight end, ladies and gentlemen. What does that say about what they're going to do in the draft? Does it give you any indication, or is this a nothing burger as it relates to the draft? Anson Wells.
It's a great question. Both of those guys kind of equate to somewhat nothing burgers in terms of comparing them to a first-round pick. I don't think Vildor is enough to push us off our need for a top quality and long-term cornerback. I don't think that it's enough to persuade them away from looking at an interior lineman in that first pick either. Something interesting I wanted to ask you. I've been seeing some drafts that have been letting your guy Brock Bowers last until the end of the first round.
Been seeing that lately.
You think he's the best guy in football, in college right now?
I think when he was at his peak, I think he was the most prominent. I think he was the most exciting. I think he was most dominant at his position in this draft. And there's a lot. Arguably Marvin Harrison.
Sure.
They dominated longer than Caleb Williams. So I'm going to say those two. Joe Alt is in there.
Player.
100% as a player, but I'm not naming too many people that dominated more. Malik Neighbors is really good.
I think he's the best wide receiver in the class.
I do too.
Tyreek,
you got to show me.
2.0.
You got to show me.
Only one season, sure.
Marvin Harrison Jr., he's been doing this, and then we know who his dad is. So
yes, we do.
100%.
He's already ready for the game. He's been a professional since he was born, basically. My thing is, though, is if we're sitting at 29 and Brock Bowers is on the board,
that's what
and you've got the best young tight end in the game already,
and Brock's more of a wide receiver.
Is that a guy that you go out and get at 29 if he slips that far? Because I'm going to tell you right now, Brock Wright signing wouldn't push us away from getting the other Brock. That's for sure.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to mix two segments together to make two topics together to make this work. I don't have a problem with that at all. Look, Brad Holmes, I'm gonna let him cook. We know at the end of the day, the defense have gotten better in terms of picks. We still need some more depth, especially at the defensive line. But it has gotten better. DJ Reader, who funny story. We'll get to that in a second. That was pretty good. We'll get to that. Hold off on that, Pete. But you've done something on defense to where if you're drafting Brock Bowers to enhance your offense, where you got the best offensive line in football when healthy, you got arguably the third best running back in football, maybe fourth or fifth, depending on where you want to slate him. You got the fourth or fifth best wide receiver in football statistically in terms of and consistently. Now you have Brock Bowers, and you put him under the tutelage of Steve Hyden and Ben Johnson and what they want to do. My caveat to that, Kool-Aid, and I'll open it up to you, is if you're going to do that, then get Tyler Boyd now.
I like that.
If you're going, and it came out today, the Detroit Lions, the Miami Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Chargers, San Francisco 49ers, they are all interested in Tyler Boyd. And you're talking about a guy in Tyler Boyd that's had some seasons here with the Cincinnati Bengals. Last year he had 607 yards and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, T. Higgins is a part of that, and Jamar Chase. So he's able to make his mark. I mean, he's had over 1,000 yards twice, and he's consistently floating around 675 to 700, but that's what you're asking for. That's what you were asking out of Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
And Tyler Boyd's much better than Josh Reynolds, but that's what you're asking out of him. He knows that role. He can play it well, and he won't be as expensive. If you're going to go the Brock Bowers route, let's say if he was there, we're playing hypotheticals, then I'm for 100% getting Tyler Boyd. I don't have a problem with Brock Bowers if they do that.
I mean, we wouldn't even have to run 12 personnel because he is that hybrid. You know, you split him out wide, you split Laporta out wide, but both of those guys can block too. I don't think it's going to happen, but I know you're high on him. I'm very high on him. And, you know, does a Vildor or Brock push us away from either position? I don't think it does.
Yeah, I don't think it does either because, I mean, I'm thinking you're looking at a Kindle Vildor, and a lot of that, too, can just be for now.
Yep.
Like, a lot of that can be for now. People don't understand when they sign deals, it's not necessarily for the football season. They can expedite those deals or they can X out of those deals. It's more so for depth during off-season, OTAs, mini camps. You want it to look like something. Also, training camps. So it not necessarily means that he's going to be here. He's just going to be here for now. I think they're nothing burgers.
Yeah.
I think Kindle Vildor is a nothing burger. Brock Wright?
Yeah.
I definitely think is.
But I don't think Brock Wright would push us, and I still want an offensive lineman in the first round. That is what I want.
So you're praying that Jackson Powers Johnson is
yes,
there.
sir.
I knew it. It's a great move.
I want Graham Barton from Duke, but I don't think he'll be there.
I don't want any player from Duke.
No?
Name me the player from Duke that was cold in the NFL. Go ahead and say
give me a little bit of time.
Go ahead and say Danny Dimes. So I can
hell no, I'm not talking Vanilla Vic.
Go ahead and say Danny Dimes.
I am not a Vanilla Vic fan. I do not understand that contract. I will never understand
that
it.
nickname. He tripped.
Right.
Like, that was the big thing about Daniel Jones. Like, he tripped before he got in the end zone. He made this brilliant 70-yard run trip for the end zone. They're like, that's Vanilla Vic. I ain't never seen Vic trip.
True.
When did Vic trip? I saw him get tripped and get in the end zone, but I don't trust Duke. That's just neither here nor there. Jackson Powers Johnson, you got Graham Bart.
Yeah, either one of them.
From
Graham Barton,
ACC,
either one of them. Either one of them. I don't think that Brock Wright would push us off of that stance at all. I really think that's where the Lions are going to go. It's going to be there or Cooper or Kool-Aid, which either of those guys I'd be happy with as well.
What happens if you? I'm gonna throw this over to you because you guys. Yeah. This is fun. You get off course. This is when you get good conversations. What happens if you get to 29 Kool-Aid and you got all three DBs that you want? You have Cooper DeJean, where actually.
That's
why don't you go ahead, Pete, and give me that's Pete's guy, by the way. Cooper
that's Maz's, not mine.
Maz's. Excuse me. That's Maz's guy. Why don't you do me a favor, put that tweet up if you still have it of Cooper DeJean. If not, I'll give you some time to get to it.
Yeah, give me some time. I'll get it.
Take your time. Cooper DeJean, who didn't report, and Iowa didn't report either, that he was injured, I believe, during the season last year, but he has now been cleared since. So Cooper DeJean is a guy, especially with the new rules and the kickoffs, he's a dynamic kick and punt returner. You also have him in the DB as a DB, whether it's one or two. You got Cooper DeJean's on the board. Yeah. Jackson Powers Johnson's on the board. Brock Bowers on the board. Kool-Aid McKinstry Kool-Aid McKinstry is on the board. And
maybe
wide
Chop.
receiver Liggett. And then Chop. Yes, this is the tweet from Adam Schefter about Cooper DeJean. Basically saying everything is cool. He has been cleared. He's young, ladies and gentlemen. Bones heal fast when you're young. So this is good. He'll be back. He'll be great. But who do you take? Brandon Dent with the moves they made, looking at how that defense looks now with DJ Reader and the additions of Davenport. What do you look at in that position? Those five guys there, who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm probably leaning towards cornerback. I was all for cornerback and defensive line. Okay. I feel like with Brock Wright coming back and with the with Zeitler signing and everything, I really like what this offensive line is. I wouldn't mind them getting one of those guys, Jackson Powers Johnson or Graham Barton. I wouldn't mind that at all. But I'm leaning towards cornerback. I've liked Kool-Aid a lot. I really like Kool-Aid.
I know you do.
Just like
I know you do.
I mean, come on now. Like if a Terrion Arnold was there even. But Cooper DeJean, I hope that all of the injury stuff is clear, because if he's there, is that really a cornerback that you can pass up on?
Yeah, it's tough call.
That's a tough call.
Here's flip side to that question. Let's stick with Cooper DeJean right now. I'll bring it to you, Anson, and then we'll get back to you, Kool-Aid. Cooper DeJean played in what conference? The Big Ten. Big Ten has not had the most dominant passing games in the last couple years. So when you're looking at the Big Ten in terms of competition that you've gone against, well, I love Michigan Death. I love Roman Wilson. You're not naming Michigan. their running team. You're not naming Michigan State. You're not naming Nebraska. You're not naming Illinois. There's a bunch of not namings. The only team that you're really naming that you win against is who? It's Ohio State.
Yeah, with
the Ohio State Buckeyes. So is that a nothing burger once again as it relates to the competition that Cooper DeJean has gone against, or is he like that?
He really, on film for me, he seems to have that it factor.
Okay.
When you also look at him returning kicks, he certainly has the it factor. You don't see a lot of those guys come out of college and fail when they can do both. I mean,
Jim Dwight.
There's some
another
for sure.
Hawkeye.
There you go. But Cooper would be a fan favorite. He'd sell a lot of jerseys. You can't understate that.
He'd be the third Iowa Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Currently on the Detroit Lions team. So they love Kirk Ferentz guys.
I think what the Lions do want, they get two things out of that draft pick. They get the defensive help in the secondary, and they get that dynamic return man that we have been lacking. Since,
you know what?
Mel Gray?
Yeah, you know what? Those are the types of players.
Terry Fair.
Yeah, Terry Fair, Tennessee.
Terry
I
Fair.
loved him.
There you go.
That's that football mind.
Hey,
that NFL mind.
You know.
Terry Fair was great.
It's like those are the types
Randy
of players that Brad Holmes has traditionally targeted. It's those guys that are more versatile. You know, whatever they're asking them to do, they can go out there and do it. When you get a guy that can play multiple positions, that could help save another roster spot. And when you look at some of the signings they've made, part of me wants them to lean into signing Tyler Boyd, because I think it bolsters their ability to go into this draft and really just have the complete expectation of just best player available. You know, the more and more you shore up some of the things that we thought were needs in free agency, which is what Brad Holmes said he was going to attempt to do this free agency. He said it allows you to get into the draft and just pick the player that you want, whoever you think is best at that point in time, because he said talent is talent. And I do believe that the Lions are setting themselves up for something like that heading into this draft. I lean towards what you were talking about, man. If Tyler Boyd can be gotten by the Lions, I feel like, go ahead and do that.
It's not going to be a hefty ticket.
Nope.
Like, it's not going to be a hefty ticket. Like, what are we talking about paying Tyler Boyd? 9, 10?
He's a very proven player too.
And,
yeah.
Like, I'll give Tyler Boyd $10 million. Yeah. I'll give Tyler Boyd $10 million.
Because when you do something like that, you look at Brock Wright coming back, you look at the signings they've made from Reeder to Davenport to Zeitler. When you do those types of things before the free agency and the draft, it would have been crazy of us to think, the Lions going to trade up? Couldn't they trade up in this draft? Because we were looking at everything they had, like all the different positions. We thought, you got to strengthen this, you got to strengthen that. But with what he's done in free agency, I wouldn't mind now if they took a couple extra, draft capital from either this year or next year to move up to maybe go get that Graham Barton, maybe go get that guy that we think, Powers might not be there, but we have the capital to go up there and grab them because we've shored up a lot of these other deficiencies on the team already.
And then also, too, I got to look at it this way. Look, and I know this is going to piss some people off, but maybe it won't. Maybe people will look at it the way I do. I always want players to be the best that they can be. I always assume players will reach the level that they want to get to, that people think they should. But that doesn't always happen. And what I'm talking about is Jameson Williams. Getting Tyler Boyd, getting a receiver that's far proven in the NFL as a number 2 as well, because it was just he and T. Higgins before Jamar Fletcher, this was Wisconsin, before Jamar Chase.
Yep.
And he had 1,000 yards, two out of the 3 seasons, he had 1,000 yards or more. So this gives you room in case J-Mo ain't it. In case J-Mo doesn't pop, this gives you some, all right, cool. We got Tyler, we got Amon, and we got Jameson with J-Mo. That's why I look at it as, am I wrong for looking at it that way?
Not at all. I mean, the biggest issue with J-Mo is his hands. The guy can get loose. He can make plays with the ball, but he's got to get the ball. And for a team for a franchise that we've come to expect third down conversions with Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's what Tyler Boyd will come in here and do. And if J-Mo has to be our number 2, I don't have the faith in him to make those big chain-moving plays. Obviously, the big plays, get him loose, get him in a screen or something like that. I think signing Tyler Boyd would relegate J-Mo exactly back to the role that he's had. And I'm okay with that. I love having the explosive player, that the defensive coordinators lose a little bit of sleep over, but give us 2 guys that are moving the chains and finding themselves open all the time.
Let's talk about a guy that's trying to stop teams from moving the chains. You got to love this. This came out today. It's an interview with DJ Reader, and you just got to appreciate Brad Holmes.
That's right.
You got to appreciate the Detroit Lions for how they're now going about recruiting guys, how they look. They don't want you to leave the building if they're looking for you. Throw that up there if you could, Pete.
DJ, a one-way flight is crazy.
I got there. Hey, I'm telling you, I look at the itinerary, I'm like, all right, it's got to be a flight home. And then it was like, nah. And then I kept asking my agent, I'm like, yo, when I'm going to get the flight home? It's like, they said they're going to book it. And I'm like, dude, it's like 5 in the afternoon. I still ain't got no flight back to the crib. But I've been up here since 8. I ain't got no flight back. We trying to get this done. I was like, he's like, it don't seem like they're trying to let you out this building. But I was walking by one door, and some dude shouted out, he was like, we ain't letting you out the building until we get the deal done, man. I don't know who it was. I didn't even look at the door when he said it, but all I could remember is like those words getting said as I walked by. It was cool.
That's the statement from Dan Campbell. That is burn the boats. This is Hotel California. You can come, but you can never leave.
And we appreciate that footage from the Up and Adams morning show. Great show that they do as well. But what does that do for you, Anson? I'll come this way first. What does that do for you when we see that, hey, look, we want this guy. We're booking him on one way, and we're going to try to – that's a very long time, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and not know when your flight is leaving. Just talk about what that means in terms of they like their guys, and maybe this makes people a little bit more excited about DJ Reader.
Well, we know that they have a very serious brass set on them. We know this.
Yeah.
And we also know that they identify players that they absolutely covet, and then they go out and do their darndest to get them. This clearly is one of those guys. When you don't leave any back door or any options open and you're going to get your guy, I think we've always been accustomed to this team missing out on great free agents. And not only have we become a free agent destination, but we've got 2 guys that are committed to getting it done once they get them here.
Yeah, this is great. B, I look to bring it to you. Burn the boats. That's the term she used, and you know what that means. That's old school war term. We come here, we burn these boats. We either win this war or we don't.
Yep.
I love that strategy. Now, I'm glad they ain't hold him hostage. They could be looking at some other type of charges. But it's just, once again, same question. What does that do for you? Just knowing that this is the limit. These are the extremes that they're willing to go to for players they believe in.
I mean, I think it shows where this organization actually is right now. Think about it. Think about if the Lions tried to do this 10 years ago.
Hell, police! They got me. Some dude named Matt Millen. Matt Millen's got me in a hole somewhere.
Can you imagine
That's
that?
kidnapping.
What about Gronk? He retired.
Gronk did retire. Good call.
Yeah, because that's a
Detroit.
really good call.
It's a great call.
That's a great call, because think about it. He was like, he hit his agent like, yo, what's going on? And even his agent was like, sit down, bro. We're about to get this deal done. This is different, man.
Yes.
This is different for the Detroit Lions. It's awesome to see that they've completely turned the tide on what other people on the outside, not just fans, but also players in the NFL, think about this squad. You got a lot of veterans who joined this team this offseason because they believe that these Detroit Lions can win a Super Bowl, man. That is amazing. Definitely hats off to Sheila, Mike Disner, Spillman, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, the players. It's just a new time, completely new time. And they did this in 3 seasons. That's wild.
And I think the thing that's most impressive about that, it's not only that they did in 3 seasons, but Kool-Aid and Anson, they told us that it would take 3 seasons. They sat there at that very first sit there at that very first press conference and presser, and they said, hey, look, man, this isn't going to be easy. It's going to be a 3-year process. They went from 3-13-1, but we saw a little bit of fight at the end of that season. They went to 9-8, and we saw them almost make the playoffs. Freaking refs and the Rams and the Rams and the Seahawks, and then also you saw what they did last year where they went 12-5 and they won North. So they called the shot. They did it. Hey, look, man, we are cooking with grease, man. It's a lot to talk about. Let's take a quick commercial break. I know my man P.
I forgot about those.
Appreciate that. Where we at with it, man?
Well, we're going to be, kind of close to the top of the hour. So after I do my read here, I would need good old Kool-Aid to follow up with his read after me. But first, since we're talking about Brad Holmes, and he's cooking with some grease. You can go to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and check out the new and the latest Detroit sports wearables. Check out that LFGRW hoodie right there. That thing looks fresh. And we're also coming out with a political style t-shirt. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, like the president, vice president sort of style t-shirt. You got to have to check that one out. You like that one, Kool-Aid?
I'd vote for that one.
You vote for that? I'd vote for that one too, man. That's my party. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, all day long. But check it out, the latest hoodies, the tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and load up. Hey, Kool-Aid, how about them pets?
Hey, you know what?
Got a pet lion?
Hey, I do got a pet lion, man. Like I've been telling people, man, we adopted the lions, the tigers. We got a golden grizzly. Hey, you know what? Word to Braylon Edwards. We about to adopt a Wolverine too.
That's right.
Oh, man. Is that right?
Hey, you know what? And you know where I go to get these pets the best? Premier Pet Supply.
Premier Pet Supply, baby.
It's hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same price and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. It's been family and locally owned and operated for over 30 plus years. How's that for Detroit versus everybody? Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Just stop in, sit back, and relax. And let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it is wicked awesome.
It is wicked awesome, and you know what else is wicked awesome? The fact that just like I called out and predicted, maybe a chance that because of the rain delay, they may switch the pitching order so that Tarek Skubal, one of the brightest, and actually it's not even brightest anymore, he's arrived.
He has.
One of the best pitchers in the game right now. It's been 4 games. He's had one outing, 1-0, ERA of 0, 6 strikeouts, and a .50 whip. So guess who's on the mound? As of right now, Tarek Skubal will be on the mound for opening day. Does that do anything for you, Anson, Kool-Aid, and Pete, in that order?
Yes, sir.
Does it do something for you in terms of wanting to watch the game a little bit more, wanting to come to the game a little more, as opposed to just hang out and have a great time at the Grand Slam Fest, which you can attend?
It does for me a lot because I haven't been completely sold on him. The hype this summer, I was a little surprised by. The Cy Young talk, I was a little surprised by. So I want to get a look at him, and to be able to do it at the home opener when we might be undefeated come Friday, you know? And
You're not lying.
If that's the fact, it's not only going to be interesting and intriguing to watch this guy, but it's also just going to be exciting for every Detroit fan that's going down there, because we don't have some lame pitcher limping out to the mound like we have for so many years on opening day in the past. This one's going to be exciting, especially with him on the mound.
Oh yeah. I'm ecstatic, man. Shout out to Evan Petzold.
There we go. Appreciate it, Evan.
Yeah, on Twitter, he said Tiger starters for Thursday's doubleheader. Game 1, Casey Mize. Game 2, Matt Manning. So no Maeda on the mound.
Yeah.
And we get Terry Skubal for the home opener.
That's awesome.
I'm pumped up for this one.
Yep.
I am super, especially since we're already going to be downtown. We're going to be broadcasting live. We're going to be all over the streets. This day just got a whole lot better, man. A whole lot better.
Pete, what do you think, man? I mean, we all talked about, I think it's pretty much a consensus, but give you a crack at it. Tarek Skubal's on the mound opening day.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see Tarek Skubal. I am now. My plans have somewhat changed. I am going to be down there for the first half of the game with a few of, Maz and a few other people will be there as well. But I'm also not only excited to see Tarek Skubal, how about that Tigers bullpen? 17.1 innings pitched and only 1 earned run allowed. I mean, come on, man. And then obviously we talked about this yesterday. Jason Benetti on the call. If you're not going down to the game, the Tigers just have that punch this year. They have that feel. They have that excitement. And I think it's going to be top notch. It's going to be a great game. Go Tariq Skubal. I hope he gets that start.
The boys are back.
The boys seem to be back. And once again, look, they haven't necessarily played the best of opponents right now, but you only can beat who's in front of you. That's what they've done. So I like what they're doing right now. Let's get back to the NFL, which is king, as we say. There's a couple stories, a lot of information going on. Another big deal just happened down there in the state of Texas. We'll get to that because I think you got a team down there that, well, let me ask you a question about it. But first, I wanted to get to this. J.J. McCarthy compared to Kirk Cousins. Now, this is by a well-known recruiting guy, Mike Farrell. Mike Farrell, whoever drafts Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy could be getting Kirk Cousins for the next decade plus, says Daryl of Mike Farrell Sports. Whoever trades up for him at number 4, and someone likely will, could be getting a Kirk Cousins type for the decade. McCarthy has more natural talent than Cousins did coming out of college. They play a similar game and great at running a balanced defense. Kool-Aid, I come to you first.
Yes,
University
sir.
of Michigan, I know you're a Michigan fan, as am I. No duh. Is that a good thing for J.J. McCarthy to be compared to a Kirk Cousins? Like, is that a good thing? Obviously, it doesn't matter. But is it a good thing if you're J.J. McCarthy?
I think it is, man. Kirk Cousins has had some success in the NFL. Obviously, injuries have been a thing that's largely kind of kept Kirk Cousins from achieving more, in my opinion. But if you can come in right away and be or develop into what a Kirk Cousins has been in this NFL, that's a great thing, especially with the mobility that J.J. McCarthy brings to the table. That is the added wrinkle in this whole thing for me. If he can put up the arm talent, the pocket presence of a Kirk Cousins and still keep his mobility and have kind of that big play kind of moxie that he carries, that big play ability, because he already has the leadership qualities. That's something that, as a Michigan fan, I had to tip the cap to Kirk Cousins. Shout out Anson, Michigan State quarterback. I had to tip the cap to him because that's something that he absolutely mastered, is being that leader of men on the field. And he's had some success everywhere he's kind of gone. So
I think he's received the 5th most money in NFL history as lays back to the quarterback
He's
position.
made more money through contracts than Tom Brady.
This is 100. That makes him 3rd. But so with that, throwing a question to you, Anson, like, is this a compliment for J.J. McCarthy? And do you agree with his assessment, talking about Mike Farrell of JP Sports?
I don't really agree when I look at film in terms of style of play. I think that JJ's far more athletic.
Yeah.
I think that Cousins is more controlled, and I think that suited him very well in the NFL. I think that he definitely he was better than I expected him to be. I don't want anybody to hear this in my dynasty team, and I certainly don't. I'd like you to plug your ears too, but I think that JJ's the best quarterback in this class, and I think that he will have the best career.
Say that again.
Okay, hold on.
Y'all heard me.
No, I heard you, but you have to say it again. But then also too, when did this thought process come about? Did the thought process come during the season? Did it come after the season? Was it after you saw him throw? When did you get to that, arrive to that point that he's the best in the draft?
I loved when they got rid of Cade. because I thought that JJ wasn't it.
Thank God.
I thought
look, thank you, Kay. We appreciate you. We don't mean to dish you, but Jesus Christ.
I liked them getting rid of him for a different reason.
They ran the read option,
and I was wrong.
He never read it. Anyway, go ahead.
I thought that JJ was going to be a disaster. I thought that he was too loose and that he never was going to put it together. But what I watched over this last season was a guy not only mature, but fully put it together and lead his team to a national championship. Now, through the process, through the combine and everything that I've seen, kid lit it up.
Yeah, he did.
That kid can make throws. That kid can run. And when you have a team that faced the adversity that they did and then still go on to win it, you build serious character in a quarterback. I think he's going to have the best career out of the big four quarterbacks that are going to go early in this draft this year. I think that he would be very blessed to have the longevity and the career that Kirk Cousins has had. At the same time, I do see them as different prospects.
Yeah, and if I'm J.J. McCarthy, look, at the end of the day, we know what Kirk Cousins has done. He's won one playoff game, but besides that glaring fact, he's won everywhere he's been. He took Washington to the playoff. He took Minnesota to the playoffs. Like, this is what Kirk typically does.
Yes, sir.
And also, 4,000 yards is nothing to him. He gets his team well, and he's a leader. I think that's more so maybe what Mike Farrell is talking about, because we see JJ as a leader. We see what he cares about. Kirk has the stats. Kirk doesn't care about the stats. Kirk cares about winning. He cares about the team. And I think that's what they were more so talking about with JJ. Okay. Plus, Kirk doesn't have to use athletic ability. Teams he usually goes to, they play a 12 personnel and also use a lot of running. So, but I think JJ he's still an enigma. He's still an enigma.
I agree
because
with that.
Part of me wants to say JJ's way better talent and way more ability and way more upside than Kirk Cousins. But when you break it down, Kirk Cousins, when it comes down to it, he's 10 and something.
No doubt.
At the end of every year, and winning matters in the NFL. Big deal happened.
Real quick, though, where do you rank him in the four? Where do you rank JJ in the four prospects coming out here? Talking about Jaden, talking about Caleb, and yeah.
I think he's 5.
You like Penix up there, huh?
Bo. I think Bo Nix is in the right system.
Wow.
But I think the upside on him is higher than anybody in the draft.
Okay.
Hey, that's how I look at it. I think the upside on J.J. McCarthy is higher than anybody in the draft, including Drake May, including Caleb Williams. I understand what he's done at USC. But I just see J.J. as a guy that, if given a shot, look, they didn't throw the ball a lot in Michigan. You didn't have to. You had Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum. Then you had Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. Then you had Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. So he didn't have to throw the ball.
In a hardball system.
That is very tight end friendly. So you find the window for the tight end and catches play action wide opens, Roman Wilson. But what if this guy is like that? Because you've seen some of the freaky things he's done where he's scrambling to the right and he throws back and puts one on the money, hash line, the sideline, opposite way. He's gotten the ball down the field. You see the speed that he has. So I'm just like, I think the upside and the what if for him is better than everybody. But I got him 5. It's Bo Nix, like his.
Did you see his combine?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was not.
It wasn't
It was
good.
really bad. I was a Bo Nix guy until I saw that. JJ for me just fits what the NFL has become better than any of these other guys.
I'm putting 4th then. I'm gonna stick with 4.
Okay.
I just like accuracy.
This is wild.
Am I really ranking a Wolverine higher than you?
I was about to say, this is wild.
It's wild, right?
First of all,
he's having an effect on me. I got to be honest.
First of all, I told you.
Noah, clip this.
Hold on. At the end, you better watch your mouth though. But at the end of the day, look, I've never been a biased Wolverine.
You've been fair.
My mouth got me in trouble with the Wolverine, so let's stop there. But I'm not biased. I call it like I see it, and I like the accuracy of Bo Nix. But
I respect
once
it.
again, that upside, I'm moving to 4 because of the upside. But here, blockbuster deal in the NFL.
Big deal.
This is just a team that's not playing around. This is just a team that wants to capitalize on what they did last year in terms of getting to the playoffs, getting a home game, winning that home game, and getting a chance to play against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. That's the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans, blockbuster deal. Bills receive. This is the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not making it up, and this isn't April Fool's, by the way.
That's right.
This ain't April Fool's, baby. We locked in. This is the first time. Compensation updates per sources. Bills receive 2025. They're not even getting a pick this year. But that's neither here nor there. 2025 second round to Minnesota. Texans receive Stefon Diggs and 2024 sixth round pick and 2025 fifth round picks. That's what's going on right now. So that's how bad the Bills wanted to get Stefon Diggs out of the building. A lot of turmoil is going on with those guys. But the hell with that. This is the Texans offseason additions for Adam Scheffler. I appreciate you having my back on this.
I got you, bro.
Peace by back. Stefon Diggs, Danielle Hunter, Joe Mixon. Let's just stop there for a second. Let's just stop there. Those are 2 All-Pros and 1 consistent Pro Bowler. And Joe Mixon, we'll pick it up. Danico Autry, Jeff Okudah, we know him well here. Wish we didn't. C.J. Henderson, Tim Settle, Foley, Fatukasi. Okay, Fatukasi. I think I said it right that time. And then Tommy Townsend. This is a team, and D'Amico Ryans, first-year head coach last year, coach of the year.
Stud.
C.J. Stroud, many didn't know what the verdict was and what type of NFL quarterback he was going to be. Would he just be another Ohio State quarterback? Well, boy, was we wrong.
I wasn't. I had him number 1 in the class. I loved him.
But did you think he would be this?
Maybe not this quick.
Okay, but I give you have a number 1. This is a team that's serious, and now it beckons the question. Now you look at that offense. Now you look at C.J. Stroud. Now you look at Tank Dell, who was phenomenal last year. Now you look at Dalton Schultz, and you laugh at the Dallas Cowboys for getting rid of him. And then you look at Nico Collins, a Michigan guy, and now Joe Mixon is the running back under center.
I mean,
like,
is Diggs even the number 1 there? That's how deep they are in their wide receiver core.
Yes, but he's got to go prove it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, but Tank Dell, like, when healthy, was that.
Give me some insider Nico Collins.
Nico Collins was a guy that at Michigan, man, if he would have stayed there last year, Michigan would have had a team for him to stay on. Like, there was first-round projections in him. He just had to work it out at Michigan one more year. He didn't work it out. He set out that COVID year, and then I think he dropped to the 4th or the 3rd, maybe the 3rd. But he's a first-round talent guy. It's just Michigan just wasn't in the system. When you're not getting the ball as a wide receiver and you're a really talented wide receiver, it's tough. I don't care what you say about the team game and the team aspect. I can only go down there and crack back so many times for my shoulders telling me I need to transfer.
Fortunately, you didn't experience that too often in your career.
Nah, Lloyd got me the ball. He was smart.
That's right.
But, you look at this team. This team is ready. Like, I'm looking at that roster, and I'm looking at what they did last year. They got to the second round against the Baltimore Ravens and didn't look half bad until, halfway through the 3rd. Is this team the best team in Texas, including the Dallas Cowboys? And with that being said, are they a top 3 team in the NFL? AFC.
I think they're the best team in Texas for sure. I do. Absolutely.
So you're taking C.J. Stroud over Dak Prescott.
I mean, one's going up and one's going down. I know Dak had an aberration of a season last year, but he also had a dismal finish to his season.
I'll agree with you 100%.
I love what they have done to surround this young C.J. Stroud with talent on both sides of the ball. Their defense is nasty. In the image of D'Amico Ryans, Pro Bowl linebacker, and now the offense, they've just given him everything that you could ever ask for as a young quarterback to succeed. It's crazy. To me, though, the question is what does this do to Buffalo? They lost Davis. They lost Stefon Diggs. What are they doing?
I looked at their roster. I looked at their skill position. I got to find it.
I'll get it for you.
You got it.
I'll get it for you in a second.
Pete, I appreciate that. But Buffalo's done.
People were picking them for the Super Bowl this year, and I don't see it anymore.
This is what happens with Buffalo, and you got to pay close attention, man. Like, they were done. They went to the AFC Championship, and every year since that AFC Championship appearance, they went down. They went to the second round. They got put out. Second round, they got put out. Then they got put out in the first round, or they went second round, then first round, then first round. They're gone. When Brian Daboll left, that team was done.
Yep.
Even though last year Joe Moore? Joe Moore came in as the offensive coordinator. He got things on track for Josh Allen, but they're not the same. And now they don't even feature those players. Hey, they paid Dalton Knox.
Yeah.
And then got rid of him.
Yep.
Then they paid, not Knox. What was the wide receiver, number 13?
Oh, Shakir?
Gabe Davis.
Oh, Gabe Davis is gone.
That's what I said. Got rid of him. Got rid of Stefon Diggs.
Their wide receiver core is Khalil Shakir, who I'm actually kind of high on, Curtis Samuel, and Mac Hollins.
Here's the departures, boys.
Yeah, this is a wrap. Jordan Poyer's gone. Tre'Davious White. Like, the players that we're naming right now is the players that made them what they were. They're the players that made us think that they were going to.
No Poyer, no Diggs, no White.
Yeah, this isn't
no
it.
Floyd either. Man.
Let's get back to Texans. I want to give you that question, Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
You look at the Texans, you look at the moves, man. Danielle Hunter. Then you ask Stefon Diggs. You look at what that supporting cast is. We didn't even talk about who was on the opposite side of Danielle Hunter, ladies and gentlemen. Will Johnson Jr., who I wanted desperately here out of Alabama, who, by the way, defensive rookie of the year last year.
Yeah.
Not Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts.
We're talking Will Anderson?
Will Anderson. Will Anderson Jr. That's the team they have. Are they a top 3? Just right now, you think about it. Boom. Texans, go. Top 3 team. Yeah or nay?
I got it. Top 3 in the league.
AFC.
In the AFC, yeah. I gotta say yes. I think
obviously we go KC.
Yep.
Baltimore still right there.
Yep.
I'm putting the Texans.
And then Texans.
I have to, man. The
like
improvements.
Them over Miami?
Yes, I do. Yeah, the improvements, the step forward that Williams is going to take as well, the comfortability, they just look good. And you talking about having a coach in Ryans, this team, man, in their front office, I like to call them Detroit Lions South. You're talking about 2 teams that are just doing things the right way, making the right draft picks, and honestly kind of getting the guys that they believe fit their culture. And in the respect to Diggs, you know, I think this is the Texans saying, you know what, let's take a shot to try and push the envelope just a little bit. I really, really, really like what the Houston Texans have done.
All right, here we go. We're going. Look, you know what? I'm gonna ask you either or. We're gonna get back to that either or again. We're gonna see where we really rank. This Houston Texans team. We're gonna think about it. All right, are they better than Baltimore?
No.
Are they better than Buffalo?
Yes.
All right. Are they better than the Steelers? Are they better than the Browns? This is a good one.
I feel like there's a glob right after those top 2.
Baltimore and KC.
Yeah. But it's a glob. I mean, you got Buffalo that you can't knock off the pedestal. Miami's up and coming. Cleveland and Pittsburgh are both exciting this coming season.
It's such a heavy word.
You know, people sleeping on Jacksonville, even though they were hyping them last year. This could be their bounce back. And, well, all of the AFC West is trash unless Mr. Harbaugh comes and changes things around, which
Cincinnati Bengals.
Now, the Bengals, that's another team that people are sleeping on because Joe Burrow is that guy.
They're losing all their players.
Yeah, they are.
DJ Reader's here.
Yeah, you're right.
Tyler Boyd won't be there in a minute. They'll probably have to pay T. Higgins because of the departure of everybody else. They lost Joe Mixon.
Yeah, on paper, after seeing these additions, I can't put anybody above them at 3. It's KC, and it's Baltimore, and it's the Houston Texans at this point.
This is what it means to go out and make moves. This is what it means to capitalize on momentum. And this isn't me talking about the Detroit Lions because I believe that Brad Holmes and Lions are doing it the right way. They're doing it their way. At least let's say that. But the Texans are making moves and strides. They're turned around in 1 year.
Yeah.
And now they're coming for the AFC Championship game in year 2. This is a fast pace. You can get good. This goes to show you, Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
You can get good in the NFL if you get the coach and the quarterback right. You get the coach and the quarterback right, I think you can make things happen.
Yeah, man, you have the right leaders at the helm. That changes everything. It's what we've seen with Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. That's one thing that I supremely underestimated with Jared Goff. I didn't know that he was going to be the type of leader and looked at in the locker room the way that he was. And it's even more so, I mean, look at Christian Harper. You know what I'm saying? You look at what the fans are doing as well, King of Detroit, and chanting his name after games. Those types of people, those types of leaders, especially Dan Campbell, man. When that guy talks, everybody listens. Even that photo that had all of the NFL head coaches in it down in, I believe it was in Florida.
Hey, man, why were all the black coaches next to each other in that picture?
Hey.
You guys know me. You know I'm gonna call out some BS when I see
Space it out. They put a little pepper.
Why were all, like, I looked at it. It was like, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It was the ethnic coaches too, because you got to cover Robert Saleh, Dearborn's finest, in there as well.
Yeah.
They all were sitting next to each other, make it look like it was more people than it was. It was a tap. Because I'm looking, I'm like, all right, why do they have? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm goofy. You guys.
You wanted
know
them
that,
to pepper it around.
Yeah, I know, right? I ain't trying to make it look more than what it was. It's all good. But go ahead, cool.
No, I was just saying, but in that photo though, man, Dan Campbell had that aura that you would have seen out of your head coach. You just
look, you like, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy. And you know what? I think the Houston Texans, I'm not saying that they're trying to do things the way the Lions have. I just think that those two rebuilds, the way that they're just going about their business, they're the ones that really, really resemble each other as it relates to the success they're having right now and the success I believe they're going to have in the future. And it starts with those leaders and the head coach. The GM down there with the Texans is doing his thing. And then you look at the quarterbacks, definitely.
All right, look, man, we're having a good show, and we appreciate you guys for listening. Anson and Kool-Aid and P, you guys are killing it. Let's take a break to get to one of our sponsors.
You're killing it, bro.
I appreciate that. We got to pay some bills, though. You know, we try and keep the lights on around here. Let's pay some bills, and let's come back. It's a lot going on around the NFL, but first, let's get a word from my man P. Spyback in Swiss.
That's right, guys. I got some good news and some bad news.
What's that, brother?
Well, the good news is the Lions are really freaking good this year, and the bad news is the Texans just got better. No. The good news is, bad news is that insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. The good news is that Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss will make sure that your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you. We will be right back with more football.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party, it's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
All right, let's talk Les Stanford. Ooh. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more great products to more of the great people here in Michigan. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust over the years on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. That's lesstanford.com.
Together, let's drive. I always like that, man. Together, let's drive. Welcome back. Might as well just say Wells and Edwards because we're getting it in, or reverse the words. It doesn't matter. We're up here together having a good time. My man Brandon Den, a.k.a. Kool-Aid, is in the audio booth, and P. Spyback is in the T-Day booth, kicking it, having a great show. Something great happened that's overdue, in my estimation. A friend, definitely a friend of the show, friend of the network, but truly a friend of mine and Anson Wells. Chauncey Billups, breaking news, former Detroit Pistons point guard Chauncey Billups, Billups,
Mr. Big Shot,
has been elected into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2024. Amazing. The head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. Before we talk about it, you were there for there. I wasn't there for a lot of it, but you were there. You were heckling. You got the name. You had a relationship. Talk about what it means to get a man, and talk about your relationship with Chauncey.
Chauncey, when I got out of Michigan State, a buddy of mine and I started a concierge business. So we worked for a lot of athletes and entertainers. And you're an athlete, there's a lot of different walks of athletes out there. Chauncey Billups was such a stand-up guy from the moment he set foot here in Detroit. He was and is a class individual. He was brokenhearted when he was traded because his own words that he spoke to me, I wanted to pull my bootstraps up here in Detroit and make a difference. I wanted to live here for the rest of my life. This is a guy that, at after events when we were doing the parties for the Pistons after they won the championship.
7, Tonic.
Oh yeah,
Come on,
7,
man.
baby.
What?
You remember 7.
What?
He always took time time for me and other people. Didn't drink. Was just a straight up great human being. But this was the catalyst for this Pistons team to win that championship. There's some debate on whether this guy would make the Hall of Fame or not, but he's more than just a player at this point. He's been involved with the NBA. He's been a telecaster, and now he's the coach of the Portland Trailblazers. I was heartbroken, and in fact, we gave up our season tickets after 25 years after the year that he was traded for Iverson. This means so much to me as a Detroit fan. Isaiah was my idol growing up. Chauncey was my buddy and my favorite Piston as an adult. And to see him go into Springfield, Massachusetts and be enshrined forever absolutely makes my year.
Yeah, 100%. I got to agree with Mitt and Mike in the chat. Great work by UP getting those comments up there. Mitt and Mike said, can we swap Monty for Chauncey right now?
Oh, please.
And I absolutely agree.
Please.
Monty
bring
checked
Jeremy
out on the
Grant
team,
with
but
you.
it's neither nor. It's about Chauncey Billups. Look, this is what Chauncey means to me. My favorite 2 Pistons were Stackhouse and it was Chauncey. Now, I'm talking about because of the personal relationship. Stack used to take care of me when I was a young guy.
Those are big brothers.
His big brother, man. He showed me with the ropes, showed me the game. He wouldn't allow me to drink, hang out. I could play the house basketball and hooping in the summer times. No diddy. But the Chauncey, you like that. You like that. You like how I dropped that in there. But I'm smooth, man. I'm quick. I'm smooth like butter. But no, with Chauncey, it was different. Like Chauncey would show me the ropes. Chauncey would tell me how the game is going to be played. He talked about agents. He talked about the dedication. He talked about just because you're number one now doesn't mean you'll be number one. So we had a lot of conversations, man. And he had the silver Bentley coupe. That's why my first car was a black Bentley coupe. It was because of Chauncey. But I'm glad he's in. He had a road that he had to travel from Colorado. He traveled to the Celtics. He traveled to the Raptors.
Traded his number 2 pick. Traded mid-season in his rookie year.
100%. He played for Boston. He was in Toronto. He was in Denver and in Minnesota. And finally, after hooping with KG, I think that was the turning point in his career. Hooping with KG, hooping with Latrell Sprewell. They had a really good squad. Terrell Brandon was on those teams. Wally Zerbiak. They had some good. But when he came here, he's one of those players, and we talked about it with CJ GG or CD Deuce. He endeared himself to this community. But not only did he do about what he said, how he carried himself, his appearances in the community. He went out there and played every night.
How he played.
He played every night. He wanted to give you all he had. He did, to the tune of a championship in 2004 and almost another one if we could have covered Robert Horry, but that's neither here nor there.
I got 2 little stories
so
on
glad
him.
that Chauncey is in. He deserves it.
He does.
He
really does. He signed my Game 5 championship ticket. 2, Anson Wells, the best ass talker in the world.
It's trash talker.
Love that. Trash talker.
SHIT.
That's the word.
Here, let's put up your name again. There you go. So
And
people
then
understand.
the other one that I absolutely love,
bless.
I had been working for him when he got here.
Yeah.
And I was an anti-Tayshaun guy. But I never talked basketball with Chauncey.
Anti-Tayshaun?
I was this is his rookie year, right?
Okay.
And I never talked hoops with Chauncey because I was
love
working.
him. I like this role though.
What's that? Well, I'm getting there. So this is April. In fact, my birthday is tomorrow. I'll be seeing you guys all. Be back here tomorrow to broadcast.
Happy
then.
birthday. We will see you tomorrow for sure.
But Chauncey came to my birthday party at 7, and I had a couple of pops, and he's sitting next to me in my booth, and I said, Chauncey, I just want to talk about hoops with you. I was like, I know I'm supposed to be professional. He says, yeah, let's talk. He sat there and talked to me for an hour.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, what about Tayshaun? He goes, Anson, let me just tell you. Now, this is like a month before they're going to go down 3-1 to Orlando.
Okay.
And then put Tayshaun into the starting lineup. He locks down Tracy McGrady. And he goes, Anson, he takes over practices. Tayshaun's the guy. He should be starting already. I was shocked.
Tubby Smith.
And then I saw it in person manifest in that opening round when we came back to beat Orlando. But Chauncey, you deserve it, brother, and we're really proud of you, and we can't wait to get you back home one day.
We appreciate it. We hope we do it the right way. We hope that Tom Gores and the Pistons do it the right way, unlike they did the 2004 20-year anniversary. I was not a fan of how they did it. Let's stick with the NBA for a second, because last year there was a player drafted by the name of Victor Wembanyama out of France, and it was said that he was the most highly touted recruit coming into the NBA since 2003, which was
Mr. LBJ.
the King LeBron James. Mike's still better, but and everybody debated it, and everybody's still debating it. Looked like a little bit like, I think his first game he played in Vegas, he looked really good, but then every game after that, it was a struggle. It kind of looked like deer in headlights, which at 7'3", getting adapted to
7'5".
7'5", excuse me. It's Jesus Christ.
I know, right? I know.
And he's right there. But took a little while, as it should. It happens. You know, you name the NBA star, and we can tell you the journey that they went through. But now, I think everybody's starting to see why. Because when he first said it, Kool-Aid, and I'm going to bring it to you off top. When people say he's going to be the greatest recruit since LeBron and be better, what is your initial, or what are you thinking in those moments last year before the draft and the draft?
As it relates to like who Wemby is,
well,
and
the hype of Wemby in terms of what he would be, in terms of the highly talented, in terms of the biggest recruit since LeBron James.
It was tough for me to really kind of put that into something I can really think, because I saw LeBron James play in high school, especially when he came out here against Detroit Redford. He put on a show.
St. Anne's, yeah.
Redford won. Deion Harris, shout out. But you saw LeBron James. He was a physical specimen. With Wemby, I didn't quite see that. We had seen players of his build to a degree, maybe not his height, but his build, his stature. And you've heard some of these things bantied about before, and they didn't really come into the league and set the league on fire. So my initial reaction was, I don't know. You know, I gave a lot more credence to LeBron James because he was literally jumping over defenders in high school. He was going out there and he was in All-American games and all of that type of stuff, going and playing with pros. You heard all of the stories coming out from even pro players when he was still in high school that know that dude is the deal. Didn't really get a lot of that with Victor Wembanyama. The closest we get to that here at home is all the noise we heard about Darko Milicic.
Yep.
We heard a lot of this same type of rhetoric. You know, obviously when you look at the film, Victor Wembanyama, he did put a little bit more on film than I ever saw from Darko, and he did play at higher leagues than Darko did as well. But I didn't know. This was one where I was like, you know what? Let's wait and see. And as we got closer to the draft, closer and closer, I was like, yo, I really wish the Pistons can draft this guy. I really hope he could. I thought he would have paired great with Cade Cunningham.
Let me just put this. Go ahead, Pete. No, go ahead.
Well, I
Pete.
was going to say, while you guys are talking, do you mind if I throw up some of the highlights from last night, Jokic versus Wemby? I mean,
Let's
this
do
is
that.
incredible stuff. While you guys are
I watched that whole game, man.
Let's do that. Yeah, you got Joker and Wemby right here. You got Wemby with the long arm, 7'5". He gets around Joker on that one. But let me just throw up some stats so you guys are enjoying the game. It was a great back and forth from Jokic, and each player got each other as it relates to dunking on him. Victor Wembanyama, in terms of greatness, is compared to LeBron. In terms of the type of player he is, well, we all know who created that lane. That was Kevin Durant.
Yes, sir.
Victor Wembanyama is not only going to win. Let me do it this way. This is Kevin Durant's rookie year. All right, Kevin Durant, hell of a player out of Texas.
This will be fun.
20.3 is what he averaged. He averaged 0.9 blocks. So he was just a one. We can give him one. One steal. He averaged 2.4 assists. He averaged 4.4 rebounds. He was rookie of the year. And it was an amazing season. If you want to go to LeBron's before I do Wemby.
Please.
Let me pull LeBron's up then. Let me do that
Please.
as well. Let me do that too so you can.
Look at Anson.
Can we drop the stat line from last night? What was it? 23, 15, 9, and 8?
There you go.
Yeah. This is the stat line of Victor Wembanyama from last night. 23, 15.
This is a man
8.
that's had two different types of triple-doubles this year. He's had a block triple-double and an assist triple-double, and he's 3 stats away from a quadruple-double as a rookie.
The last person to do that was the great Hakeem Olajuwon. This is LeBron James' rookie year. Almost 21. We can round it up. He's 20.9. He's 0.7 blocks per game. He's 1.7 steals, and he's 6 assists and 5.5 rebounds. So
solid.
Really good.
Really good.
More than solid. Really good. This is Victor Wembanyama. I already got it written down, so I'll look at it. He's 21.5.
Yep.
He's 21. The season's probably
double averaging.
He's 21.5. He's 10.5 rebounds, BD.
Yeah.
10.5 rebounds. He's 3.5 blocks a game.
In the league.
He's 3.5 blocks a game.
It's ridiculous.
1.3 steals per game.
This man is at almost
1.3 steals a game. He's not only transcendent, he's going to win Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year.
Baby. That's right. As a rookie.
And you know what's been crazy?
What's been crazy?
To see his confidence grow through the season. And he's not even, in my opinion, I don't even think that he's anywhere near.
He's got 2 years. He's got another 2 years.
Yeah, he's still learning the NBA game. It's usually a transition for these guys coming from overseas. He's still learning the NBA game. That confidence has just grown throughout the season. To be averaging 5 stocks a game, steals plus blocks, that is insane.
Yeah.
That's like, I think Ben Wallace might have been averaging 4.5, close to that.
Yeah.
This is insane. He's a rookie. That was Ben Wallace like at his peak when he was winning the 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards back to back or whatever it was. This is something I didn't even fathom this. I thought he would be decent.
He has more combined steals and blocks than the last set, over 100 more than the last 7 Defensive Players of the Year. Now, I do want to address something that you talked about, and that was his slow start. My eyes have been glued to this kid since he was drafted. The way that Pop was using him was some Larry Brown type of stuff.
Yeah.
He would, they never ran ISOs for him in the post.
Because he's an old man. That's what old men do. This is what Monty was doing.
Of course.
This old school minded coach.
It was so frustrating watching him though, because it was almost like the team was freezing him out. They weren't incorporating him into the offensive sets. And the moment that Wemby would finally put together 2-3 good plays on both sides of the ball, he'd sit him.
Yeah.
And then that stopped once the around December and the year turned into 2024. And like you said, Kool-Aid, this kid is getting acclimated. He's starting to learn the game. It's starting to slow down for him. Now, that being said, he kept them in the game last night, and he lost the game for him last night.
Yeah.
He was 9 of 29.
Oh, 80% free throw shooter, by the way.
Just but he shot 3 of 6 yesterday, missed 3 free throws. Sure, but he was taking 1-foot threes from about 26.
Too comfortable.
He honestly forced a lot of shots yesterday, and I've seen games where he doesn't force them. By year 3, this is the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also, too, the biggest thing that we didn't mention he's 20 years old, and he does not know his body yet.
That's right.
He's 20 years old. Like, remember how long it took Giannis to learn his body. Remember it took KD some time to learn his body. Jokic, the list goes on when you're dealing with a big Dwight Howard. When you're a big man, it takes you a while to learn that NBA presence and physicality. You got to put that weight on. It doesn't even have that yet.
We got him right up here. You look at him, his muscle tone is more so than Chet Holmgren, more so than Chuck Nevitt or Manute Bol. This guy has a frame that can add some pounds to him. And you brought it up when we were talking about it the other day. Giannis had the similar frame, and to be able to see the monster that he's turned into, we don't need to see Wemby get that big. But if he can add some size and mass and strength, because he was getting bullied. Aaron Gordon was bullying him.
Yeah,
he was having a hard time with him on the offensively. But it's so exciting to see the manifestation of the last 10, 15 years of the NBA to the outside 7-footer who can hit the three manifest into this specimen right here.
Here's a question for you guys right now. I'll start with you, then I go to I'm going to get you involved in this, Pete, too. Talk about the projections. They talk about where Victor Wembanyama going into the draft. Look, he's going to be the greatest this. He can shoot a three-pointer. He can dribble. He can bring the ball to the court. He can block a shot from half court and all that stuff. When it's all said and done, what do you think is the ceiling for Victor Wembanyama in terms of being the greatest of all time? I'm going there. The hell with it. Since we're here, since we're having this conversation, since we're talking about what he could be, well, let's go ahead and lay it out there. Where's his ceiling at for greatest? Is it greatest? Is it Mount Rushmore? Is it top 10? Is it top 20? What do you believe his ceiling is?
I think that it's the argument that we've been living in for the last 10 years, which is who's the GOAT? Is it LeBron or is it Jordan?
Yeah.
He's going to be right there. I think that he will surpass LeBron. My biggest concern with Wemby is his interest. He's big into what? Is it horse racing, I believe?
Season.
He was struggling in Mile High City last night. They sat him down a lot because he just was winded, but he takes some plays off here and there.
Yeah.
He will walk down and hang out at the 3-point line when, Pop wants him in there mixing it up on the defensive and offensive side. If he can change his heart and passion into this being the only thing, he'll be talked about over LeBron in the Michael conversation.
Wow.
Yep, I said it.
BD, you right behind it. He said he'll be talking about more LeBron,
Wow.
so that means he has him second.
I think he's definitely going to be in the conversation. So for me, that puts him in that top 10, maybe in that Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Maybe in that Mount Rushmore.
Well, you're knocking off the mountain, though.
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So you got him at the ceiling. Okay. Pete, let me get you in on this, man. What is the ceiling in your mind for Victor Wembanyama? Is it the very top? Is it top 5? Is it somewhere else?
Top 10, because I think just like what
I
Anson
like
said,
it.
man, because of his
I
interest,
like it.
Yeah, it's got to be top 10, man. He absolutely has the skills. He has the presence. It's the presence on the floor that does it, man. And the guys in the top 10, like of all time, they all had the presence on the floor. He's got the presence. But Anson said as long as he stays interested, then he's top 10.
Here we go. I like what Pete said. He stole my thunder. Stole my thunder. I think I'm going to say top 15. Because you already said top 10. I don't like to piggyback people.
You're saying at the end of his career?
I'm going to stick with top 10, even though you said I'm going to say top 10. The reason why is, what do we give him credit for? What are we so excited about? He can block shots. He can play defense. He can play offense. Takes a lot out of you. I can only not Magic. Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon. These are the two people we think of when we talk about both sides of the floor at a high level their whole career. Maybe Charles Barkley, maybe some others. Karl Malone.
Russell and Wilt, too.
100% Wilt and Bill, yeah. But 100% in terms of the GOAT conversation. So when I look at it, he's got to be that in this. He's got to be able to shoot threes. He's got to know when to get down the paint. He's got
to surpass a guy that wore the same jersey, number 50.
21.
No, both of them.
Yeah.
21 is, first of all, 21 is way better than 50.
Whoa.
I like this.
Do you know what David Robinson did in the 90s?
He won 5 championships.
I like this.
David Robinson ain't win 5 championships. In fact, he didn't win a championship until 21 got there.
We
Talk
got
about
folks.
Talk about it.
Well, they had to gift him a number 1 pick. I'll give you that. And I do love me some Tim Duncan. But defensively, he was not the force on both sides of the ball.
Oh,
that
David Robinson had 70 points once, and 71 once, and all of a sudden he's an offensive threat.
No. David Robinson was an offensive threat, of course. But
Man, get out of here.
I'll tell you what, it is not. It is not cut and dry to separate David Robinson and
We
Duncan
legitimately
and
got
say
people
which one's
arguing,
better.
is he better than Kobe? And I know you ain't trying to tell me that David Robinson is better than Kobe.
I'm not trying to tell you either one of them is better than Kobe.
Like, what? Man, hold on, man. We got to go to commercial break, man. We're going to commercial break so we can let Anson get his head screwed back on straight.
D. Robinson,
Brave
in that neighborhood.
The man from the Navy, in the Navy. Get that out of here.
Mr. Robinson's
Who's up
neighborhood,
next,
baby.
man? Is Guardian Alarm good?
My God,
Anson,
when
you
got
need to stay out.
smacking
Stay
those
out.
sign on in front of you, it tells the bad guys, and especially the Admiral, one thing.
Stay out.
Stay out.
It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring and technology backed by people who have been proven to work and by people who have been proven to care, just like Wembanyama. Call them today at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today and tell them Woodward Sports sent ya. We'll be right back.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
When it comes to chicken sandwiches, there is a sleeper. It is a sleeper. It is a sleeper, but it shouldn't be because it is awoke. And that is the Chicken Shack sandwich from Shake Shack. Look, and check this out. Free Chicken Shack sandwich if you go to Chicken Shack sandwich. Go to Shake Shack. You give them promo code Woodward. Also, you have to have $10 worth of a purchase. $10 isn't much. You go in there, you get some chips, you get a drink, you get a sandwich, or get 2 sandwiches, and you get 1 free. It is an amazing sandwich. You should try it, man. Grab a Shake Shack. And also, it's that crispy fry that they do have. Just use the code word Woodward. That's all you got to do. Use the code word Woodward. Get yourself a free Chicken Shack Shake Shack sandwich. I'm telling you, every time I read that, it is a tongue twister. But then also, after you do that and you're downtown on Friday, you need to come on down to Grand Slam Fest. Block parties, 2 parties. Join Woodward Sports for 2 great parties, Grand Slam Fest and opening day block party. I've been there last 3 years. And oh, my God. Grand Slam Fest will begin broadcasting live from 8 to 4. Or come to the party, the block party, the Brass Rail, Love Tequila, and NX all connected. 1 ticket gets you all 3. 1 for 3, the best deal going. Win your ticket now. Like the stream and comment Grand Slam Fest. Grand Slam Fest is what you comment. We will select the winner to come to Opening Day Fest April 5th at the Detroit Opera House parking lot, or buy your tickets at GrandSlamFest.com. Kool-Aid, what you got to say?
Hey, listen, chat family, that pass that you can get if you like the stream and you comment Grand Slam in the comments, that also comes with a +1. You guys will be on the guest list and you can bring somebody else with you. But we currently sit at 94 likes on the stream. Let's get that to 110. If we get it to 110, we will announce the winner by the end of the show. Support the crew, man. It's been great content today, man. Shout out Braylon and Anson.
Hey, look, man, it was great content until this man tried to tell me that David Robinson was better than Tim Duncan. This is foolishness at the highest level.
We're talking rookie seasons. You threw your stats out on Mr. Duncan.
Yeah.
No, and Mr. Or no, we didn't do Duncan. We did.
Never threw Duncan stats out there, so you might want to be careful.
I got him.
Okay.
We did LBJ and we did Victor, and then I thought we did somebody else.
We did do somebody else. We did KD.
So let's take a look at Mr. Robinson's neighborhood of stats here as a rookie. 24.3 points as a rookie, with 12 rebounds per game as a rookie, 2 assists, 1.7 steals,
Was he playing against Shaq?
3.9 blocks.
Was he playing against Shaq?
No, Shaq was
he playing
still in
against
LSU at that time. But
was he playing against Shaq?
Let's talk about career. Now, you want to talk about Duncan? He also had a guy named Parker and Ginobili.
Listen. Don't do that. We don't play to who you had, because everybody.
But that's what you did.
No, I didn't. I said Tim Duncan versus
David
Robinson.
He didn't win it until he got Tim Duncan.
Well, he didn't.
Sure, but Duncan won it because he also had those players.
Hold on. When Duncan, no. Those players weren't on the team when Duncan and Robinson won.
Sure, because they had each other.
It was
the Twin Towers.
They had Tim Duncan.
They had the Twin Towers.
Don't have me start reading off these numbers.
Well, let's do their career stats, okay? David Robinson 21.1 to Tim Duncan's 19.
But also
they both averaged 10.6 to Duncan's 10.8.
Also, stats are misleading. He played in 2 different NBAs. Center dominant is when he played. He also played the 4. And then later on in his career, because he did play more extended, he played lesser and less of a role because you had Manu and then you had Tony Parker. So don't try to give me the longevity of the stats, because don't do that. I know the game. At the end of the day, when they were in their prime, when, by the way, Tim Duncan was MVP 5th as a rookie, 3rd his second year, 5th as a 3rd year, then 2nd, 1st, 2nd, 4th, 4th, 4th. Yeah. Just throw that out there. That's in the MVP finish.
Offensively, he was the man.
Both great. But Tim Duncan, come on, man.
Duncan, David Robinson didn't have the polished offensive game.
Why are we talking about David Robinson at the end of the show?
I don't know.
Got me talking about David Robinson.
Fighting over David Robinson.
I'm fighting over Tim Duncan.
Crazy Clown said, I like the spirited debates like this.
Like, I'm just saying, like, it was foolishness. Like, David Robinson did have great rookie year, and then he had a great career.
Yep.
He's on the dream team. Mm-hmm. Like, there's nothing we could take away from David. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but, hey. This has been a fun show, and we're not done.
It
but
has.
I don't even know where
it's not 4 already?
I don't know where to go from here. Just laugh about Kool-Aid. No, I don't want to talk about the Pistons. The hell with that.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about them doggone Pistons, man. NBA. Oh, I did hear this, which was interesting. Chicago Bears, they chose to go with Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Did you hear the report that the Chicago Bears actually wanted his teammate, Mike Williams, but he was on vacation in Paris, I do believe. Reports the Bears reached out to Mike Williams for a visit and checked on his knee, but he was on vacation in Paris and couldn't make it, so instead they traded for Keenan Allen. B-Den, if you get this information and you're Keenan Allen, like, how does this make you feel? Are you like, oh, damn, or it doesn't matter?
Yeah, man, it got to matter a little bit,
man.
It has to matter, man. I feel like, what the heck just happened? Jeez.
I don't know, man. What do you think about this? And is this something that we're like,
which one of those two receivers plays more than 8 games a year? That's what I want to know.
Neither.
Exactly.
Keenan did last year for the first time in a long time.
I am not a Mike Williams guy. I never have been. I don't
like the name.
Keenan Allen was supposed to be the number 1 receiver in his last year in college, and he suffered an injury before that. And this guy was a little slept on. He was drafted a little lower than he should have been, and he's done nothing but produce when healthy. I think he unseats DJ Moore as the number 1 over there. Yeah. So I would have much rather seen Mike Williams come to the Bears than Keenan Allen. That's for sure.
I'd be pissed if I was Keenan Allen, but at the end of the day, I'd be happy I got out of L.A., the Chargers, and fresh start. And I think you could take it out because 100% he could be that guy. And, he has that relationship. You saw he and Caleb Williams, when they're at Pro Day, they have that relationship where they already know each other as well. This is another interesting one. We kind of talked about Michigan a little bit. We'll get into them more tomorrow because Michigan actually is returning a lot of good talent as it relates to top 3 Pro Football Focus have rated in the top 25. But Blake Corum, he takes his visit with the Chargers. He took a visit with the Chargers. They're one of his top 30 visits. And this could be very interesting because I think this is what Harbaugh wants to do. He wants to create the running game, much like Sean Payton did last year with Russell Wilson. Look, let's take it out of the quarterback. Let's literally get you
much like he did at Michigan.
100%. Offensive line, defensive line. You make those up, you shore those up, and that's why you dominate Ohio State. But this could be a great fit for Blake Corum. You got a guy that would take care of him. You like that fit? It's like match made in heaven, or am I overdoing it?
I think Donovan Edwards is going to be a better pro quarter running back. And I saw this on the breakdown today. I really wanted to ask what you think the pro prospects of Blake Corum are.
All right, we take all the off the field stuff, the leadership and the kindness and the sweetheart and all that, man. Like, let's put that to the side. Those are good things. But on the field,
keep it real.
Yeah, let's keep it real. He knows how to run between the tackles.
He does.
I think he was a little faster 2 years ago. 2 injuries, knee, ankle. Sure. I think they've hindered that a little bit, but he still ran 4.53, which isn't slow as well. I think he runs between tackles. I think he catches well out of the backfield too.
That's the big question mark for him, isn't it?
I think he can catch out of the backfield. I just think they didn't have to. Michigan was one of those situations they didn't throw the ball out of the backfield. They weren't trying to create the pro style.
But that's
offense.
in his skill set, huh?
Definitely think it's in his skill set. I think he's going to be a good pro, but it's just how long though.
Yeah.
And how long before those injuries in college stack up? How long before those 280, 315 touches a year.
That's right.
How much they catch up.
Touches.
Yeah, there's a lot of touches in the NFL. Buffalo Bills quarterback, and this will be the last thing we say. This is a good one. Maybe not so much a good one. Josh Allen doesn't fear CTE or brain injuries. This is an injury. This is an interview that came up, and this is a quote from Josh Allen. I know what I signed up for. Before I ask you guys, I'll tell you where he comes from. He's absolutely right. in terms of being from the player standpoint. Like when these things come up, when you talk about CT or you talk about brain injuries, like, yeah, it sucks. And you don't want that to happen. And you want to do the things that can prevent that, the preventatory things, the exercise, the things of that nature. But this is a gladiator sport. And I believe I went into it knowing what came with that. I knew the things that I was, putting on the line in my body, but I wanted to do it anyway. So when I see this comment as a former gladiator, if you will, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
It makes sense. I mean, we all get in our car every day and drive to work knowing what the possible outcome could be. But this is a game that people love. And you get your head knocked around a little bit. I mean, at the same point, it does kind of sound like maybe he already has a little brain injury, just, putting that out there. Because at the end of the day, you've got to be a little bit concerned about your long-term livelihood and your quality of life towards the end. But at the same point, nobody's going to give up a dream like this because of the possibility of getting injured. You see these guys go out there when they're injured because they want to play. So, I mean, my hat's off to them. That's banging around there, man. Just stick in your game as long as you can.
All right, here we go. Before we get out of here, Kool-Aid, I bring it to you.
Yes, sir.
Right now, based on what you've seen, who's coming out of East, who's coming out of West in the NBA?
Ooh,
you like that? Switch up.
Man, I think it's going to be Boston in the East. In the West, man, though, that's a tricky one for me. I think it's going to be Denver. I really do. I think it's going to be Boston and Denver. The Celtics.
I'll ask you, since you already put out there, do you have a repeat?
Man, Boston has really been impressing me this year. If they go into the finals healthy, I think this is their year, man. I think this is their year. It's just a different confidence out of Jason Tatum as well. He seems like he's really intent with trying to become the face of the league. I don't think that happens without a championship for him. I think that they knock off the Denver Nuggets this year.
Okay, Anson, East, West, and then who's winning?
I still think my Thunder are a year or so away, as well as Ant-Man. He's a little bit away. I think Denver is. I mean, what this team has been able to do this season while injured, without mostly Lamar Murray for the whole season, Jamal Murray, excuse me.
The running back.
NFL so I was like, wait a second, that's not the right guy. This team has the experience, and they just have a style of play that is so difficult to defend. You got big men that can shoot outside. You got the best player in the NBA right now. And I don't think that as good as the Celtics are playing, I don't like their big two in big moments, JT and I'm blanking on the guard's name right now.
Jaylen Brown.
Thank you, Jalen. Kristaps Porzingis is going to be that wild card. Yeah. And Kristaps, he can do it. Kristaps, he can't. I'm not sure. But he's going to have a hell of a time dealing with the Joker. I think they double up. I think they repeat.
Very similar to Kevin Love when he was with Cavs. He provided that third spot for him. I think it's nowhere else to go. It is those two teams, and I believe Denver wins in the end. I think Jamal Murray will be healthy by the time they get to that point. And also, too, they haven't had to play their best basketball. They completely changed once they get into the playoffs because you got Aaron Gordon that can give you 18 and 15. You have Michael Porter Jr., who will silently score you 25.
He had a career-high 16 boards last night.
And that shows you he's trying to do more. He's trying to up his game. And also, the only thing that scares me about Denver, and this is the reason why the Celtics can come out on top this year, is because of the bench players that you got rid of in Denver. You had some key players. You had Jeff, who's played forever. Oh, my God.
Bones. They lost Bones, too, right?
Yes, Bones. And they lost why can't I think of Jeff's name? Played forever.
For who?
Oh, my God. Played for the Nuggets last year.
I'm blanking. I mean, I like Christian Braun over there.
It'll come to
me. They definitely, they got Reggie Jackson, who's been a big help for them. They're decently deep, but realistically, I mean, you look at this guy in Joker and you think that he's not going to be able to make it up the court 3 or 4 times, and he was dragging Wemby around last night. Oh yeah, Jeff Green,
Uncle Jeff,
great
Jeff
veteran.
Green.
He
played well for them last year, though. Yeah, 100%. Look, man, this has been a fun show.
Yes, it has. Sir.
This has been a great show, man. We appreciate you guys.
Kool-Aid's got one thing to say, though.
Kool-Aid, tell me then.
That's right. We got the winner. Hey, first and foremost,
all right.
Thank you, chat family, that got the stream to 116 likes. I need you guys, before you leave the stream today, make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. But the winner of the Grand Slam Fest is, drum roll, Mid-May,
baby.
Hey,
There we
let's go. And you know what?
He had the great comment earlier, man. Mid-May be on it.
Yeah, and definitely look, mid-May. Either if you're on socials, you can hit me. You can hit Braylon. It's at Detroit Kool-Aid. Huh?
Get Stick.
Yeah. At Stick Radio as well. Go ahead and just DM your name so we can get you on the guest list. Let's make it happen, man.
We appreciate that.
It's gonna be the biggest party in the city.
He's gonna have some fun, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Tune in, see you guys down there. But hey, man, appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate getting after it a little bit, man. A little fiery. I think we got some people going after in the chat too, man. We got to do this more often. For my man Brandon Kool-Aid, Anson Wells, Michigan State Spartan, and P Spyback over there in the TD booth. We appreciate you guys. This is Ermanni Edwards, Maz. We'll see you tomorrow.